What's good? What's good? I am getting pretty good at this counting cards and blackjack thing. I've had some good days and I've had some bad days. That's legitimately part of the process. But I've hit the point where, I think it's viable. I really do. But to make it viable, I need what they call a bankroll. So just going into the casino with a few $100, yeah, you can leave up, but you can also leave down. And when you don't have a bankroll to sustain the downs and to bet big enough to, when the time is advantageous, to outpace your losses, then it's pointless. But I can do it. And so now I need to figure out how to build a bankroll. The problem is, here's my dilemma. I'd say about $10,000 is the bare minimum bankroll I need. But if I had $10,000 right now, I've got dental work that needs done. I've talked about it in past videos. My upper jaw is very consolidated and crammed in. The dentist actually wants to add like half an inch or more of space up there. And she thinks that it is likely the cause of my sleep apnea. I'm a little overweight too, but it's likely this, because when you sleep, your tongue's supposed to rest on the roof of your mouth, but my tongue can't because there's legitimately not enough space. The way she described it, it's really funny. It's like trying to fit a big old truck into a small garage that isn't designed for the truck to go in. And it would be just so wonderful to be able to sleep on my back and to relax and get quality sleep. Because I wake up at least once or twice almost every night to go pee, and that's actually because when you're not actually getting to the deep sleep, there's hormones that are released and processes that don't function properly. And I'm always exhausted, and it would just be nice to not have sleep apnea. I can try a mask. I've tried that before, and they want me to also use a mask in addition to expanding my palate, but like I don't have $10,000, and that's how much it would cost to do all of that dental work and to get a CPAP machine. And so, okay, I could potentially take $10,000 and use it to start generating income, but $10,000 isn't a lot. You're not really going to be generating a lot of actual value. So I need to, first of all, get to a point where I have a bankroll, but then not rely on that. So I still need another job. And then, let's say I get $10,000. What do I do first? Do I invest in this in my health and then I don't have a bankroll? Or do I use the bankroll and start trying to make a little bit of money here and there? I don't know. I haven't even touched the title of this video yet. Is it true 50% of millennials get substantial support from their parents still? I don't know. That's like I saw it in writing, and then another YouTuber talked about it. And when I reflect on my friends' relationships, I'm a millennial. I'm 37, turning 38 this year. Yeah, a majority of my friends that are not fucking struggling have got quite a bit of help from their parents over the years. And I'm not trying to sound bitter or resentful about that. My childhood was crazy, and I didn't even fully embrace the impact of that crazy childhood until like my late 20s. And then it's been a crazy 10 years for me. And so, I don't want to sound bitter or resentful, but it makes a lot of sense how some people seem to not be struggling and some people are just barely getting by. And it's, the gap between the lower class, the middle class has been growing. The middle class has just been disappearing. And it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. If you don't have a support system, you're kind of effed. That's not true. You can make it out. But I would say more people do not make it out than are able to make it out without a support system. And I'm not trying to be all like, woe is me. I'm just trying to figure out how to move forward in life when there's like no inheritance I can expect, there's no one I can call just to ask for help, how there's no land, there's no house I'm going to eventually take over. It's really, really, really sad actually, because my dream is to own a few acres and to just do a little farming and whatnot. And there is an expression, I've heard it said 2 different ways, from long sleeves to short sleeves in 3 generations, or familial wealth is often squandered by the 3rd generation. I have one of my first memories, I was about 4 years old, memories of my family farm. Not like a farm, because nobody was actually growing anything, but it was the family property. My last name is Lauridsen. Port Angeles, Washington, there's a giant street named Lauridsen Boulevard. My family used to be a prominent family, many generations before myself. And my family sold the property and just fucking trailer trash. My family's trailer trash, essentially, and it's humbling to admit that I have not made it out, and so there's no support there. There's no family farm, and it hurts because it was a beautiful little piece of property. I remember you would drive down a little bit, and then there was the orchard, and then the woods, and then the shop, a big metal shop, and I used to like collect tadpoles from the water there, and I didn't know what my family was squandering until it was too late, and it sucks. And so that's what I'm trying to get back to. So like 10 grand come, circling that back into this, 10 grand would buy you, if not a few acres, it would be a significant down payment on a few acres, like somewhere in Tennessee. For some reason, I'm just called to Tennessee. Legitimately, you can buy a few acres for like 20 grand down there. It's undeveloped, no power, no sewer, no water, nothing, but I don't care. I don't care. If I had 20 grand, I would just buy a random 5 to 10 acres. The properties I was looking at a while ago, they had creeks running through them. You might be able to get a well going. Man, it's like just to get right past struggling when you don't have help in this economy is so hard, and I don't know what to do. I don't have 10 grand. That number's just been in my head in terms of like my dental work or in terms of starting my blackjack career. Deliveries have been really slow. Work has just been not as busy as I'd like it to be. A lot of people are struggling. AI is it's already been fucking us, but AI is within the next 12 to 18 months, things are going to look even crazier. So what's a guy to do? I don't know. I'm not trying to sound pathetic. I'm just trying to communicate my struggle. I'm going to pause real quick. What I need to do is I need to find a weekend job. So not doing delivery work because it's too unstable and I'm just tired of it. So I need to just be working 7 days a week in some way, shape, or form. I'm trying to get a part-time job at Home Depot. That would be like a synergistic sort of development, because I'd get a discount on tools that I then use to go work in construction. So I'm trying that. It's not been working out, but also I should look for like a real job, use my degrees. I have a master's degree in business administration. It's just hard to find work that wants to pay more than $46K, which is just a bullshit number in Washington State. Like maybe in Missouri or Arkansas, 46K, yeah, where you could buy a house for, 50K or whatever, but not in Washington State. So I realize there's a relativity to talking about money, but I'll kind of wrap up the video and end here. If you have any tips, please, I'm open. I have shirts, merchandise you can buy. I call it merch with a message, because we need to stop letting the social engineers divide us and we need to resist. So that would help if you want to buy a shirt. You can also just donate. I think I might have Bitcoin link or something. All help is appreciated in building this vision of a new earth. You can also like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm gaining a few subscribers here, which is not what I've expected, but I'm very thankful for. And if it keeps going, I could apply for monetization, but I'll address that in another video once we get closer. Much love.